So it's time for everybody's favorite segment. It's time for prospecting with the Welsh. We're going to take this pickaxe out of Welsh's head. We're going to go find us some gems in the ballpark area. And Welsh, of course, these guys are written up by you every single week at FantasyPros.com. And there's a great way to find all these guys, too, in all of your leagues. And that's to use the tools here, including My Playbook MLB. If you haven't already, download it or go to FantasyPros.com/MLB and download the app as well. That way you have it wherever you are. You can manage all your teams and find some of these players and where they might be on your many rosters in many leagues as well. So Welsh, Let's get after it. Let's talk about who you have first here for the prospecting segment.
Well, we're going to talk about 5 prospects to stash. My article covers 10, but we are going to dig into some of these guys and some important things to share. And I will tell you, from a week-to-week perspective, you're going to see similar-ish names. We had some graduations from that. Maybe the most important, or one graduation, was Heston Kjerstad, who we talked about even last week on this segment. He came up to the majors. A couple guys came off, but let's talk about the top guys. One that you guys all know is Paul Skenes. Paul Skenes leads the top of this list. And part of it is something I'm starting to pick out. I think I might have an idea when the debut is going to happen, and that's my sell here. So in his latest start, Paul Skenes went 4 1/3 of an inning, striking out 7. He walked 1, gave up his first run of the year, which is still absurd. I mean, the numbers, the swinging strike percentage, everything is crazy. But this is what I wanted to pull out with Paul Skenes. Ben Cherington was asked on Wednesday about Skenes and the pitch count that he's got. If he has a pitch count he needs to work to get to the majors. He was super kind of like dismissively snarky about it and this was his word. He goes, well, it's going to be higher than the 45 he threw 2 weeks ago. Okay, so there's the snarky comment and not wanting, and he also told the reporters, if we did have a pitch count he had to work to, I'm not going to tell you. It's super obnoxious about how they're treating it. So here is my thing about it. You know how great Skenes has been. The 3-pitch mix he's been dominating all minor leagues hitters with. We got to see him at the majors. So this start on April 24th, where he gave up his first run, went 4 1/3, 71 pitches. I think that's important because 2 starts from now, I think we're going to see him over 80. And I think after that, the timeline opens up. So the end of April goes to 75. The next start, right around May 5th, he goes to over 80. And then I think the timeline opens up between like May 10th and May 15th. I think we could see Paul Skenes in the majors finally reaching that marker that is over 45. So Paul Skenes, the prospect to stash, is coming soon. Joe, number 2 on this list, we actually talked about yesterday on Leading Off. It's James Wood. And I got very, very excited because Lane, I don't want to get excited about injuries, but Lane Thomas hit the IL, and this seemed like the perfect opportunity for James Wood to come up. They didn't. They brought up Trey Lincecum, who is kind of like an infielder in here. But I still think there's an opportunity that we could see James Wood soon, that this team could make an alteration and start bringing him up. Though I have received, different pieces here and there that the Nationals really are not pushing it. But so far with James Wood, he has hits in 5 of his last 6 games, including 2 multi-hit games. He's hitting .288 in April and still has a sub 25% K percentage. I know they don't want to push the limit. I think we could see James Wood pretty soon. And that's why I'm putting him near the tippy top of the list. And I don't know what type of concern. Do you have any concerns with James Wood as far as this team holding him back because it's the Nationals?
No, I don't. I think the Nationals see how CJ Abrams has been playing, and I think they look at this collectively and saying, look, we've got to show the fan base something for all of these stars that we've had to move on from one reason or another in the last few years, and give the fan base something to look forward to. And Wood is certainly that thing. I think he is that centerpiece guy where you're looking, who is as great of a player as CJ Abrams might become. Feels like James Wood is the guy that could become the new face potentially of the franchise and that middle of the order bat. So I don't have any concerns about them being aggressive with him. I think it's going to be sooner than later. I think we're just being impatient, and it is only the 25th of April. And I said to you, look, somewhere between 50 and 100 at-bats at AAA makes sense to me before you see Wood.
And one of the moves is the roster resource had Trey Lincecum playing first so they could put Joey Gallo in the outfield. There's only so much I think you can put Joey Gallo and Eddie Rosario out there. By the way, I believe Joey Gallo has 37 strikeouts to 1 single on the year.
There's only so many times you could put Joey Gallo out on the field, period.
Exactly. So I think I think that could move. All right. So those two, I think, in the real world of stashing, make the most sense right now. Plus, there's one or two others on the article you can check out, but three others I want to burn through to tell you about as far as who you should stash. Kyle Manzardo, we mentioned yesterday. He's been on a little hot streak as April's ending. He has homers in 3 straight games from April 22nd to April 24th. He actually hit 4 in that period of time, and he's had hits in 4 straight games. His average is up over 300 while putting up a double-digit walk rate, 14.3%. By the way, he's got a sub 20% K percentage. That is like a classic Guardians type of player. It's going to be harder to make it fit because they've got Josh Naylor, but I do think we're very close to them going between DH and first to get Manzardo's bat in that lineup, though, again, they have been scoring a bunch of runs. Number 4, Orelvis Martinez. So this one, I got a mind-boggling thing for you. Check this out. Going into April 24th, which was yesterday, Orelvis Martinez with the Toronto Blue Jays had a hit in every single game he played in April. Every single game. He has come a super long way. He's currently hitting over 330, where he had never hit over 275 in a single season in the minors. In the last 2 years, he had never hit over 245. He's the chase has always been a big issue, but he's had monster power. He is barreling the ball better. But the team just made a move where they brought up Addison Barger, and they didn't put him in the infield, which is a guy who can play the infield. They put him in the outfield. So I think we are close to them giving up on the Kevin Biggio stuff, letting Martinez play in the infield, and then Biggio can go back out to the outfield. He has been on an insane streak right now, so be on the lookout for him. And then finally, the other one I'm going to tell you about, we're going to the Milwaukee Brewers with Tyler Black. Since April 16th, Black has 3 homers, 2 stolen bases, and 3 multi-hit games. He's sporting a 329, 430, 539. That's a 345 slash with an incredibly impressive, 12% K percentage, 14% walk percentage. He's getting the ball in the air. He's lowered his ground ball rate. The problem we have and why he is not a guy that you put immediately on is they've got Terang and they've got Joey Ortiz. We're both playing solid ball right now, but this might be a guy that you get on your roster and you put him across the field. Milwaukee is scoring a bunch of runs, which also doesn't make this a big necessity because he's kind of a down-ish defender, but he is on a crazy streak right now and shows incredible floor. He is on the top 10 of the prospect stash list. I don't know when it happens, but you can read more about it and find out the things that make him great and why he is going to be close when the Brewers are ready to pull it. Those are 5 prospects to stash, but there are more on the article over on Fantasy Pros, so check it out. Plus, some even deeper names that you can check out when you're prospecting with the Welsh, Joey.
Everybody loves some prospecting with the Welsh. It's a good old-fashioned time. So make sure you join us here on Fantasy Pros MLB. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this and leading off every Monday through Friday.